Yo, what is up, guys? Joker bringing you another video for the 3.26 Mercenaries of Trathis League, going over my League Start Atlas strategy. So let's go over the changes before we actually go over the strategy itself, right? I feel like the strategy will make more sense if I go over the changes first. So they reworked Betrayal, and the TLDR of it is Katarina is no longer tied to the Betrayal board itself, so you don't have to worry about killing her being reset on your board. As well as this does allow you to essentially farm Katarina fights and save them for later or sell them. So that could be a currency making strategy on its own of just stockpiling them. The next thing that they did is they gave Katarina Allflames. Now, Mark did say Allflames are going to be weaker than they were in Necropolis, and I mean, that's kind of understandable. And when he said that, I don't know if he meant that it's going to be like significantly worse or they removed a bunch of the better Allflames or what, right? Like the Manifest Wealth. Where is that little son? Yeah, this was fucking insane. Like, if they left this in and its original power, the inflation of this league would be ridiculous, right? This just dropped so much currency. But the same thing could be said with the meat sack, right? But even a watered down meat sack, juicer groups and juicer players are still going to want to use because the meat sacks just had so much innate quantity and rarity, right? So that's cool. That's going to be an additional moneymaker you get from fighting the boss. On top of that, they changed it so the rare veiled items no longer drop. So, like her +2 modifier, this is no longer going to drop on a regular rare item. It's going to drop on one of her uniques, and that's how you can unveil it. If you speed run to end game and kill a bunch of Katarina, unlock the modifiers, you could potentially sell this craft on like TFT, or it's the only website I know. I'm sorry, the only like trade thing I know, right? But you could potentially sell it or in like the global chat and make some decent currency there. She now drops rare double veiled items. Those have some potential. I mean, majority of the time, those are probably going to be trash. But if it rolls good with like 2 modifiers and then you unveil 2 good modifiers, then you could like bench craft something on and probably have a pretty decent item actually, because the veiled modifiers are pretty strong, especially when you unveil them directly. Apart from that, they changed the amount of intelligence you get, which is overall longer, and they added the Veiled Chaos Orb back to Syndicate, and they added a Veiled Exalted Orb. So Veiled Exalted Orb is going to drop from Katarina. Veiled Chaos Orb is going to be dropping from the Safe House leaders. And Veiled Chaos Orbs are super good for crafting things like early to mid game boots. So this is going to be what I'm hoping my primary source of currency is I'm going to be able to run enough of the houses while I'm figuring out the rewards that these additional drops of Veiled Chaos Orbs just boost my overall hourly like currency gain, right? So those are the changes that happened to Betrayal. I said TLDR, but I just looked at that clip and it's like 4 minutes, so I do apologize. We're going to go over the kirac portion significantly faster because there's really only one line that I care about. Atlas memories have been removed, right? So Atlas memories no longer exist, and Mark said that they are going. Oh, it says it right here too. Red tier kirac missions that you might recognize from previous Atlas memories. So this is going to be like of the Harvest Beast, of the Crystal Prisoners, right? All of those common not harvest memories, Atlas memories that you used. The one for the Harvest Juice, the one for the Beast, the Harvest Beast, and then the one for the Crystal Prisoners, the Rogue Exile one that gave you a bunch of essence. Those are all now going to be red tier kirac missions. So that's why I'm grabbing the kirac nodes as well, because I only have to complete T11 maps, right? Honestly, that's the goal for like the first 4 days is I want to blast into red maps with decent completion. That way I can start stacking the memories and then I'll roll those kirac missions later for further completion. Plus, kirac's just good for Atlas completion. So with those two things out of the way, let's go over the points on the tree and like the strategy itself. With that out of the way, let's actually start going over the strategy now. So we're starting off by going to Obsessed with Vengeance. And this league, what GGG added is Scarabs dropped in your maps have 20% increased chance to be Betrayal Scarabs. So essentially, any percent chance for content to show up in your map is now accompanied by a node that says increased chance for that type of content scarab to appear in your map. So you should be able to sustain scarabs that you're using much more frequently. So we're going over here, grabbing the 20% for June. Then we're coming up here and we're grabbing Shaping the Mountains. This is going to be our map sustain. We grab the Cryptic Gateway, we go over here and we grab the Shaping the Skies. Once again, map sustain. We come up through here and we're grabbing the Expert Resonance. And I'm sorry, that says Reconnaissance. Not resonance, and then commissioned officer, because we're going to be stacking kirac missions as well, just because they help with Atlas completion. And at this point, once I have 83 points in the tree, I should be at least in low tier red maps. So it should let me start potentially stacking those red kirac missions so I could get the kirac memories, hopefully, potentially, right? If I'm able to farm those early on, that's going to be insane money. But if not, generically, kirac is really good for Atlas completion, because if you don't know, if you open a kirac mission, you don't even have to run the map. If you open a kirac mission, his shop refreshes. So you're able to go ahead and farm maps through his shop super easily as long as you have kirac missions. It's what I do every league. I stack kirac missions early on and then I just roll through them for completion, and it's super efficient. Normally I usually go Harvey as well so I can have the Horizon orbs, but since Betrayal got reworked, we're testing that out. So after you grab kirac, you're coming over here and you're grabbing Skittering Swarms, and then you're coming over here and grabbing Significant Troves. At this point, we're going to have like a 20, 32%, 40% chance. Okay, yeah, it's a 40% chance for June to appear. So all of the syndicate members are uniques, so they're going to have the higher chance of dropping scarabs. And that's why we're grabbing the increased scarab drop chance. You have the choice of grabbing supplicant if you want to. I like the extra shrine because I'm going to be playing the spectral shield throw and I don't feel like it's going to be that awesome, at least early on. So I'm grabbing the extra shrine for extra power. Then you go over here, you come down here, and you grab the effective leadership. This is giving us a more likely chance for our syndicate members to be accompanied by their leader. Just pretty much more betrayal members to kill, more intelligence gathered, essentially is how I've always viewed it. Then we have betrayal mission chance, betrayal mission chance. Then we go over here, betrayal mission chance, and test of loyalty. This is giving our syndicate members that we execute 100% chance to gain an additional rank. So pretty much rank 1s go to rank 3 once you execute them once. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm slurring so bad. You execute them once and it's going to go to rank 3, essentially making sure that the rewards you get are significantly higher. You come up here, you grab the Eldritch Gateway, you grab the Eldritch Gateway, then you go and grab Lethal Extraction. This is having our syndicate members give us more intelligence. They did increase the amount of time it takes to get to the I'm assuming safe houses in general and the cat arena fight. It does say in the patch notes that it's going to be longer, so this is going to be hopeful getting as many safe houses per hour done as we realistically can, at least while we're figuring out the new rewards, right? Then we're going over here and we're grabbing amplified artifacts. Rare mobs in your maps have a 50% chance per modifier to drop Scarabs, right? So this is just giving us more Scarabs. Then we're going up here and we're grabbing Crimson Infusion, Amber Infusion, and Bismuth Infusion. Bismuth Infusion has bismuth ore deposits in your maps have a 30% chance to add an additional modifier to monsters they affect. Then petrified amber deposits in your maps take 25% reduced damage. Oh, hey, that actually does help. And then crimson ore is guarded by 2 additional crimson growths, right? So corrupted growths. So this is giving you more loot. This is making your tree die less fast. And this is giving you pretty much more loot because it's adding an additional modifier to mobs surrounding this. So just a little bit of extra loot. Plus, this is how I plan on getting some of my early gear, sending the ships off to get like strength evasion gear pieces. The thing about King's March is it's too strong to not really do early on. I've gotten some insane pieces of gear. I've gotten multiple divines early on from selling gear that I get from early shipments just because they're that strong. I'm pretty sure they did nerf it, but it was still so strong that even with a nerf, I don't know how bad it's going to be. But if that is the case and it just feels bad, we're going to take these nodes out and then we're just going to come over here and grab the Scarab nodes. Once I get more points, right, like after this strategy, I would put my next points into this anyways for the map boss dropping an additional Scarab and the less common varieties. Because what we're hoping to see is we're hoping to see things like the Calgarian Scarab of Guarded Riches. It adds a additional pack of monsters guarded ore deposits in area are at least magic, right? So I'm assuming this is the same as this node. Well, at least similar, where it's at least guarded by 1 pack. The wording is different here. It seems like just all the monsters that are guarding this are going to be at least rare, which potentially is more mobs than adding the 1 pack. So this could be really, really strong. This is going to be one of the like chase Scarabs we hope to hit, because I can see this being worth a decent amount. If other people aren't using this, then I might use this on my own in general, because you can have multiple ore veins in your map, right? And this is having the monsters around them be magic. So you just juice pack size, and that's going to be a lot of free magic mobs. You throw in like the Scarab of Evolution, which now has the shrine that has the increased chance to evolve the mobs, and you potentially could have a large fat stack of rare mobs for free, right? So that's essentially theorycraft for later on that I was thinking of. But the other thing was the Betrayal Scarab of the Allflame. 75% increased number of monster packs substituted by Allflame embers in your area. So essentially, I think this is another Scarab that is going to be very coveted, because Allflames are insanely strong. At least they were. They were broken. So the fact that Mark said that they did water them down makes sense, because some of the Allflames were completely ridiculous. But I think with this Betrayal Scarab of the Allflames that we do have will be incredibly strong if you use the right Allflame, right? If we go ahead and take a look at what was one of the strongest Allflames, the Allflame of Manifested Wealth, this had 2 to 7 pack. I'm sorry, pack size 2 to 7 monsters. So this is giving us 75%, wrong one. 75% increased number of monster packs substituted by the Allflame. So if this is replacing 2 to 7, well, I'm sorry, I believe that this was just adding. We need to see what the new Allflames say. But essentially, TLDR is this will be giving you 75% more juiced mobs in your maps, and even watered down nerfed Allflames I feel like are going to be incredibly strong with the Betrayal Scarab of the Allflame. So that's like the second chase thing that we're going after. Then any other Scarabs, any other gumball currency, anything else that drops is obviously going to be currency. We're going to be farming for the Katarina uniques as soon as we get to red maps. Otherwise, we're going to be farming Veiled Chaos orbs because they now drop from the safe houses, right? Safe house leaders now have a chance to drop Veiled Chaos orbs. It does not say at what level. So if this can happen, most likely early yellow maps, this is going to be an insane amount of profit. But yeah, that's pretty much our plan for our league start. I would say probably don't copy it because it does have potential to be bad. But you are definitely free to. I'll have the path of pathing down in the description for you if you want to check it out. But yeah, then other than that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future content. League start, I'm going to be streaming for probably 24 plus hours to try to get to the new end game, test out memory strand items, stuff like that. I'm going to essentially get as far as I can and farm efficiently, right? I'm going to be playing Spectral Shield Throw. I don't know how far that's actually going to get me, especially on League Start. I may be stuck in early to mid-tier yellow maps for a little bit, so I may farm out completion and get more currency and then push, but we'll have to see. The goal is to make it to the end game early, right? I want to be one of the first people that's able to effectively farm memory strand gear and sell it, because I know that is going to be incredibly powerful. I just know it. I know it's going to be incredibly powerful. I know those currencies are going to be worth a lot because they seem incredibly powerful. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Until next time, take care.